growing in India, and that happened during the COVID time. So I keep telling everyone we were at the right place at the right time, and that's really worked out for us because we really got the name and recognition because we did exist back then. Uh, what makes us different is with in comparison to our fellow competitors is that we were able to identify a lot of problems within the industry before we started. So we took almost 6 months to really understand what the whole industry is like, what are the good things that are happening, what are the bad things, what are the good practices, or what are the practices that are required. And I think we were one of the first organizations in India who were able to bring a proper structure to the whole industry, to how teams are running, different um, how different esports athletes should be treated, what kind of facilities should be given to them. And that's when we also built our um, one of India's best boot camps, which is called the Forest, and that really became one of our USPs. So yeah, I think that is what made us different. We also brought a business angle to this, because a lot of people initially started esports in India with a lot of passion, but even we were very passionate about esports, and that's why we started Orangutan. But one of the things that made us different is from day one we had the business mindset, and we were one of the first organizations to introduce team sponsorships into the whole esports industry. And I'm happy to say that even today we are one of the teams that attracts the best of the sponsors, the best of the different brands to work with us.
Great, sir. So I still remember the day when yes, sir announced the Valorant roster on the stage, on the land stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. So my next question is regarding esports. So what's basically is esports? What is an esports athlete? Who is an esports athlete?
So esports is nothing but there are different games which are played in a competitive environment. Games like PUBG, now called BGMI, Valorant, Counter Strike. So there is a very competitive angle to all these games, and now these games have formalized and are being played at the biggest on the biggest stages, with n number of prize pool, and there are different professional players or pro players who have made a career out of this, and different teams like us recruit those players to represent us as teams, and for that they get paid salaries, they get the best of the equipments, they get a boot camp to stay in. So it's a very it's very similar to how Mumbai Indians is operating, or how a Manchester United operates. Exactly the same way as how Orangutan operates. And esports has been existing in India for more than a couple of decades now. But it always existed in cyber cafes or gaming parlors. It never really, saw the streaming angle, and never really got as big as it is today. Um, and in the US, in fact, it's been a popular sport since the last 10, 12 years. So I think even we've adopted the whole Western culture of how esports is being treated. Even today, I think America, South America are the biggest regions for esports. Um, and yeah, I think with the younger generation, who is all of us who are on the call, right from the age group of say 16 all the way up to 24, they are hooked onto esports. They probably are spending more time watching esports tournaments and esports athletes than they are spending time watching other sports. So yeah, and all these athletes are living they are called athletes because they are living a life of an athlete. So they have a routine, they have to there's a lot of discipline involved, there's a lot of hard work, there's a lot of practice, there's a lot of good eating habits, fitness, all of that, which they live an athlete's life is, and that's what makes them an esports athlete.
Yes, sir. So my next question will be regarding entrepreneurship. So can you share the story of how you founded Orangutan and what were the initial challenges that you guys faced?
So, see, I'll tell you a little bit about my background and story. I start. I was studying entrepreneurship in my undergrad. I went on to do my master's in entrepreneurship because I come from a business background. I come from a Gujarati family who has been doing business for since the time they were born. So I think that kind of held back with me. And in my 3 years of undergrad, I was doing a lot of internships in different companies, right from startups to established firms. And I realized I don't like the monotonous 9 to 5 job. And I